So we are going to jump right in to the webinar. So for those of you that are familiar with FastRecruit, this screen, the dashboard screen, is the first screen that coaches and staff members will see when they first log into FastRecruit. This is kind of the summary page of your FastRecruit system by being able to see your draft board and your depth chart and any calendar events that you have scheduled throughout the week. So we're going to talk about some new features here. So one big thing or one big problem that we previously had in FastRecruit was on our depth chart. It's this tile over here on the right that you'll see, and we load that with the current roster of your team from our FastStats database. In previous years, we have not been able to edit that information until rosters are updated in the fall. That is kind of something that we wanted to change as teams are getting commits to their team or having transfers both coming in and leaving their program. So one thing that we wanted to do was make this editable to coaching staffs. So one way to do that is we've now added this edit button in the top right corner, and now you can edit your current rosters year over year for commits that you have, transfers that are leaving, transfers that are coming into your program, and you can do that in a couple different ways. If you have someone on your program, for example, that is transferring out of your program and they're no longer going to be a part of your depth chart, to remove them from your depth chart, all you will need to do is click the edit button in the top right corner. You get this nice pop-up window, and now you can simply just uncheck their name. So Isaiah Stevens, we'll use it as an example, junior here. If I uncheck his name, he is now grayed out here. And if I click save now on this, he is now removed from my depth chart. So it's a really fast way to hide anyone from your current roster that is transferring out. Similarly, if someone was not available for eligibility and someone, you want to remove them and hide them currently, but bring them back, now I can simply recheck Isaiah's name, click save, and now I'll see him appear back on my depth chart. Another nice new feature is being able to add incoming freshmen. This is a brand new capability that we have that coaches could not do before. It's very easy to add. So for all of your recruits that you have in your database, you will simply click add recruit. And now this is a drop-down list of all the recruits in your FastRecruit database. So if you would like to add someone as a freshman, simply click add recruit, and now you can start typing their name. Select their name, and now they've appeared on the proper position and class that you want to have them added to. If I click save, you can now see that I've added AJ Griffin down here as a freshman. Similarly, if I make a mistake and I select the wrong name, I can hide them simply by unchecking their name. If you want to be able to move players within a current year, say, you would like to move Adam here, for example, to a shooting guard, which is more of his position, I can simply drag and drop. So we've enhanced the drag and drop capabilities to be able to organize your players across positions year over year very, very easily. Similarly, if I want to start updating my depth chart for future years, I can simply go to the future year. So in this case, I'm on the 21-22 season. I can now go to the 22-23 season. My seniors will fall off, and now I can go in and add freshmen that I may or may not have committed, or verbal commits if you would like to track that, onto your depth chart or potential depth chart for that season. Simply add recruit, type their name, and now they will appear here. You can hide or display these names at any point in time. So one really, really nice new feature that we've added. So that's kind of the editable depth chart. It's very user-friendly, very easy to use. Is there any questions that folks may have around this? Okay, doesn't look like we have any questions here. If you do think of something, feel free to reach out to your account managers, or if I went through it too very quickly, we are recording this and can share this webinar with you or a staff member that may have missed being able to attend today. So moving forward, so going back to the dashboard, on the left is the draft board. In previous years, we've only been able to add 5 rows for your draft board. We've now enhanced that, and under the recruit section, you'll see in my sub navigation here, you see a draft board option. If I select on that draft board, I now have a full page draft board of all of my recruits. Same functionality as the dashboard. You can select your year over year, but I'm going to stay on the 22s here. And now I can add in recruits, as many as I'd like. So it happened very quickly, but when I added the 5th here, I now have an additional 6 row. Similarly, if I add a 6th recruit to that position, I will now have an additional row. This board talks to the same draft board that is on the dashboard. On the dashboard, that is a summary of the first 5. So from this first 5 rows of your draft board. If you want to see in depth a little bit more than 5 rows, you can navigate to this full page draft board. And now when you're on virtual meetings with your coaching staff, you can utilize this full page draft board as your whiteboard that you otherwise would use in your offices. You can drag and drop players. So if I want to reprioritize my order, I just dragged Amari Bailey down. Or if I want to move Scuda up to my top prospect, you can drag and drop. You can also drag and drop amongst positions. So the same functionality that you have on the dashboard draft board with the drag and drop, we've now implemented that as well on the full page draft board. It's a little bit more in detail on this full page draft board with being able to see recruit images, as well as high school, class, position, height, as well as the club team if you have that information entered. Are there any questions around the full page draft board? Looks like we got a couple here. So the question is, did you say you could add verbal commits that's younger? So I'm assuming we're referring to the depth chart here. Yes, if you have recruits that are in your system that you've added into your recruit database, if I want to go all the way out to my 24-25 season, I can simply add recruit and type their name. So Jaden Springer, as an example, yes, you can add those verbal commits that are younger or in future classes. Another question here is, will incoming freshmen link to stats once they become a sophomore? Incoming freshman link to stats. So currently we Yeah, so we have our Genius feed. So I'm assuming referring to, let me go back here. The stats that are displayed here in the depth chart. So yeah, currently when the new roster comes in from our Fast Stats database, you can simply hide any previous recruits that you've added, or once they become officially on the roster. Yes. So your recruits, once they've officially come on the roster, yes, your stats, similar to here to Adam. So we have his player image, stats, weight that are being pulled from our Fast Stats database. Yes, those stats will be displayed. I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I was a little confused on that. Okay, any other questions there? I hope I answered the question on the stats there for you. One thing to clarify about the stats and displaying those stats are only displayed on the depth chart and not on your draft board. So similar here, we don't see stats for these players. So we only see stats on NCAA players. Okay, I think that answers that. And all right, so moving forward to another big thing that we have that we've recently updated. So as we all are aware, the transfer portal, since the start of the transfer portal, has become utilized more and more by athletes. One thing that we wanted to do was give you the ability, or give coaches the ability, to organize their transfer recruits side by side with their high school recruits. So this is a really quick way with our new transfer watch list feature to put all of the information that you would normally document on, your high school recruits. So whether you're taking notes, sharing those with your staff, any contact points that you have with transfers, and add those directly into your FastRecruit database. So to add a transfer recruit to your transfer watch list, you will simply up here click add recruit while you are on the transfer watch list feature or filter. Click add recruit. Down here, you'll see transfer watch list. I will check the transfer watch list. And now you can select the division of where your transfer that you wanted to monitor is coming from. So we have Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and non-NCAA players. So if I click on Division 1, we'll just use a general example here. And I go down to, Javian Davis, for example. When I select that player, you will see his player image, his player name, first name and last name is automatically brought over. And now you can input their class information, the date in which they initiated. So we'll just use today as an example. And then their transfer status. These statuses that you see here are the same 3 statuses that are displayed in the transfer portal. So you have active, matriculated, and withdrawn. So for demonstration purposes, we'll select active. And now you can see that I've added Javian Davis down here. Another really cool thing that we've added to enhance this page a little bit more is be able to connect that with Fast Scout. So if I'm on this transfer watch list, you notice that the team name here is linked. When I click on that team name, I am now redirected to Fast Scout. I gotta log in here. And now when I click on, apologies, I have siren going by. So now when I click on that player's team, I'm redirected to their team dashboard within FastScout. So you can see the really quick way, summary of a box score for that player's stats. But to go one step farther, we've added this stats glyph here. And now if I click on this player, I'm redirected to the new player page that's directly in FastScout. So here you'll see basic stats and then the advanced stats that we have. The advanced stats here will only display if you have the advanced stats package. But it is a really quick way by clicking on that stats glyph to see all the stats for those players that you are monitoring, their game time, all of that information really, really quickly. So again, it's just simply by clicking the stats glyph here next to the player name. If you are on your all recruits list, that stats glyph, so we'll go back to Javian Davis, displays no matter what. So if you are on your all recruits list, you can still link out to that player page and see stats. So you don't necessarily have to navigate to the transfer watch list. If you simply type that recruit's name, just like I did, you can really quickly access those stats. Get back to it here. Are there any questions here on how to add a transfer recruit that you might be, or transfer player that you might be following, or any stats questions, and how to view those? No. I have another question here going back to the draft board. Just to get back and answer this question, apologies for missing that. The question is, how many can you add total to each column for the draft board? Is it 7? No, you can extend this row. So if I add an additional, you can add as many as you would like, as many rows as you'd like. Looks like we got a couple transfer watch list questions coming in here. Are there any highlights available for the transfer watch list? If you're referring to highlight videos, we do not house that information in terms of highlights. We only provide the ability for staff members to link players directly into their FastRecruit by following the steps, and then linking over to our FastScout platform and showing advanced stats and basic stats. Hopefully that answers your question there. So let me just add a transfer in here one more time because I kind of went through it quickly. So simply add recruit, check the transfer watch list checkbox, select your division, and then select your team. You can scroll or you can type your team as well. So if you wanted to go all the way down to Kentucky as an example, select your player, select data initiated. Again, we'll use today as demo purposes, active. And now click save. And now you can see that I've added Ben Jordan down here at the bottom. Looks like we got another question here. So the question is, does someone have to be in the transfer portal to show up in the transfer watch list? And do you have to have FastScout to see their stats? So great question. So no, so to answer the first part of the question, no, someone does not have to be in the transfer portal to show up on the transfer watch list. So because this is manually added, you can add any recruit that you see within your, division. So no, they do not have to be in the transfer portal to add them on your transfer watch list. And then the second part, do you have to have FastScout to see their stats? Yes, you do need to have FastScout in order to navigate to the FastScout, this page. Yes, you do need to have FastScout. Another question here is the contact section in the transfer watch list contacts that are available for said players, or are those added by us when we add them to the transfer watch list? So let me get back to that. So contact information here, let me see, the contact section. Yes, so that information is added by the staff members, by the coaches, by the recruiting coordinators. To add that information, simply click on a recruit's name here and click edit. And now you can add contact information here below. So you can add in phone numbers, Twitter handles, Instagram handles, Facebook, emails, address. You can use hyperlinks, to any web page that you would like to add as well. And you can type the label. So if you want to have personal Twitter, you can do that. If you want to add in their current coach's phone number, you can add, you can just type that coach's name and put in the phone number as you wish. Another question that just came in here. Once you add a transfer, then you stop recruiting them. Will the player still show up on transfer watch list? Correct. Let me close out of this. Yes, so that player, if you are recruiting a player and they become unavailable, you can do two things. If you wish to have them still live on the transfer watch list and mark them as withdrawn or matriculated, you can update their statuses here. So if they've withdrawn from the transfer portal, so you know that you're withdrawn players. Similarly, if you just don't want to see them at all, you can archive those recruits simply by archiving, clicking the archive button here. And now that I clicked archive, you can see I got a notification saying they've been successfully archived. So we've updated that as well. So instead of deleting recruits, we've now added the ability to archive. Does it have the ability to add custom fields, parents' names, link on YouTube clips, etc.? Yes, so position here. So this is a custom field that I have. So if I go into my managed fields, you can see I have this marked as a custom field. So let me get back to my transfer watch list. So yes, you can add your custom fields in here. So if I were to add one in here for ranking, you can do that. An example, so custom fields, parents' names, link to YouTube clips, etc. Yes, so if you wanted to add a custom field for parents' names, you can do that. That was probably a little bit more work than you needed to. But the easiest way to do that would be by adding contact information. So by putting, a phone number, putting parents' name and their phone number. You can utilize it that way. For linking YouTube clips, that was another question. So yes, you can link YouTube clips. So down here, you see this little globe under contact information and under type. So if I click on type, scroll down to this little globe, this is a website. So if you want to type YouTube, and now in this value field, you can copy and paste that YouTube link right here in this value. Click save, and now here, I'll use my Twitter. I'll use Twitter as an example. It works the same way. So we'll just add in. So I just added in our fast model Twitter handle. Now when I click on this, I'm redirected directly to that page. The same functionality works for YouTube. So if you copy and paste that link directly into that field, when you click on that link, you'll be redirected directly to that same page. Okay, make sure I got all the questions answered here. Okay, I think I got all the questions answered there. Great questions. Okay, moving into the last portion of what I'm going to cover today, and that is our new partnership with BallerTV. So very excited about this partnership. I think it's amazing, especially in with all of the content that's available out there on Recruit. So what we did was we went out and partnered with BallerTV. So if I go to the TOURNEYS page up here at the top. So for those staff members that utilized FastRecruit last year, you're kind of a step ahead. So if you've linked recruits to a tournament previously, and that tournament is a BallerTV tournament, you will now see those under events and show past events. You will see BallerTV links displayed. But I'm going to go through how we are seeing those links, as well as in a couple different areas. So first page, obviously you can see the BallerTV links available on the TOURNEYS page. So this is available for everyone. You will be able to see, regardless if you have a recruit tagged to that tournament, if a BallerTV link is available for that tournament. So I don't have any recruits linked up to this basketball series. So if I click on this BallerTV link, you'll be redirected to the tournament page. But let's get into one that I do have recruits tagged to. So to tag a recruit, you can simply come into here, assign a recruit to that tournament in the drop-down menu, find which team you know that they played for, and then navigate to games. Once you navigate to games, you can see here that I have BallerTV links available for those games. So if I click on one of those games, you are now redirected directly to that game page within BallerTV. If from last year you have recruits that have been linked to previous tournaments, so I click, I'll use AJ Griffin as an example. You can simply click on their recruit profile, and up here under events, you'll see I have show all. If I click show all, I now see the same games that I saw on that previous tournament with the BallerTV links available. So if I click on one of these, similarly on the games tab, so that's a good example. So if the game's been removed from the database in any reason, we will still link directly to the tournament page, but not necessarily directly to the game because that game is no longer available. So let's find one that's available here. So similarly, when I clicked on that link in the games tab, now within the recruit profile, you can easily and quickly go see that game. If you have a BallerTV subscription, for those of you that know, you can download these games and cut it up as well. Are there any questions around our integration with BallerTV? Question here, do you have to have a BallerTV member to watch the games? So we have, with our partnership with BallerTV, they are allowing coaches to try this out for a week. So you will have access to those games for a week. And anything outside of that, yes, you will need a BallerTV membership to watch any games moving forward. Any other questions here? Okay, I don't see any other questions. Well, that pretty much concludes what I was going to cover today. If anyone, oh, we got a question that's just coming in. So just add tournaments like usual, then we will see if it's linked up to BallerTV. Correct. So let me walk you through. So find the tournament in which you would like to add a recruit. So if you previously attended those tournaments and have recruits linked up, you're a step ahead. If not, find the tournament that you wish to navigate to. Click on that tournament. Click Assign Recruit. So we'll do Amari Bailey here. Select the team in which you know that they played for. So we'll just do a random team here. And now under the Games tab, I just have to refresh here. Now you can see I have Amari Bailey linked up on the Games tab, as well as if I search for him in here, click on his events, show all, you can now see those links available. There's a couple games that are not available. So similar to what I mentioned before, the game link is not directly available. But here you will see the BallerTV links that we do have. So question here, are these additional features and extra costs in addition to what we're already paying for FastRecruit? You will need to contact your account manager for that information. Any other questions here? All righty. Well, thank you all for attending today's webinar. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if anyone has questions. We are recording this webinar, so if you had any staff members that did not attend that you would like to share this video with, contact your account manager and we can make sure that we pass this and share this around. We'll also be uploading it to YouTube, so you can share those with your staff members through the Fast Model YouTube page. Question here, can you do it through the tourney list again for BallerTV? Yes, of course. So simply click tourneys, navigate to the selected live period, and then find your tournament that you wish to link a recruit to. So let's go. I've been using Best of the South. Let's clear. We'll clear this out completely so you know, so I can show you what it looks like. So when you first navigate to a tournaments page, so we'll just start fresh here. So Best of the South here. So I have BallerTV, BallerTV links available at the tournament level. So I'm going to go in and add, click on Best of the South, and then now we're starting fresh. So assign a staff member. So I'll assign myself. Click Assign Recruits. So we'll use AJ Griffin as the example that I've been using. Find the team in which you would like to add that you know that they played for. We don't house that information or share roster information. So you need to know what team that they play for. You can type for the team. So if I type team, you can select the correct team. So we'll just do Team Legacy here. And now if you navigate to games, you'll see that those games are available. Similarly, if I go back to his recruit profile, click on his name, show all, I now see those BallerTV links available. So I have a comment here. Would love a recap feature, just some way to send recent movement to a head coach, notes, evals, news, commits, etc. Got it. Definitely can see what we have the capability to do there. Great feedback. Thank you. Another question here, is the 1 week access for BallerTV for each recruit, or is it a week overall and then you have to pay for their membership? It is a week overall and then you have to pay for that membership. And all of that's handled directly through BallerTV. But through our partnership, they're allowing access for 1 week. Anything outside of that week is additional. Hopefully that answers your question there. Great questions by everyone. Really appreciate the feedback there as well. Definitely noted. Anything else that anyone like to see that I might have ran through quickly, or any other last minute questions here? Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time. I'll stop this webinar now and this recording. And then as soon as we have it available, we'll be posting it to our Fast Model YouTube page. Similarly, if you want any of your staff members to share this with them, please contact your account managers and they can share that link with you as well. So thanks, everyone, and have a great day.